Alright, Shalom, Shalom. So we're back, giving all honor and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakak Kodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. We are the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of, the prophesied to so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. About the coming of the RFID chip, which is, according to the Holy Bible, the mark of the beast. World War III is coming to America, Babylon the Great. Martial law, FEMA camps, world economic collapse, central bank digital currencies. This is the book of Acts, chapter 10, verse 9. Acts 10 and 9. On the morrow, as they went on their journey, drew nigh unto the city. Peter went up unto the housetop to pray about the 6th hour, and he became very hungry. Would have eaten, but while they made ready, he fell into a trance. And I saw the heaven open, and a certain vessel descending unto him, as it had been a great sheet knit at the four corners, let down to the earth, wherein were all manner four-footed beasts of the earth, wild beasts, creeping things, fowls of the air. So this is the vision that St. Peter saw. He saw many creeping things, fowls of the air. And it's spoken to him. He said, rise up and kill. But he said, Lord, I have not eaten anything unclean since that time. And in the vision, he spoke unto him to say, what God has cleansed, do not call unclean. This was talking about Israelite foreigners. This is not talking about you can eat whatever you want. So the Most High God gave you in the law of Moses, like it says in the book of Malachi, remember the law of Moses, things that you should eat that are beneficial to your health. So the Lord said not to eat fish without scales, not to eat shrimp, crab, lobster, which they are oyster. They were created to eat the filth of the sea, just like pig was created to eat the filth of the earth. Acts chapter 10, verse 36. The word which God said to the children of Israel, preaching peace by Yahushai, Hamashiach, he is the Lord of all. And this is the word that he sent unto the children of Israel, the Jews and the Israelite foreigners, which we call Gentiles. You all fell into the Gentile state of mind. But the point is, that vision that St. Peter saw, he saw all manner of creeping things, all manner of four-footed beasts. Acts 10 and 37, that word I say, you know, which was published around all Judea, beginning from Galilee, after the baptism which John preached. Just talking about the law of the prophets. The epistles weren't made during that time. The book of Revelation was not in existence at that time. This is talking about the so-called Old Testament book. And the things that Yahushai, Hamashiach spoke about, which is we call Jesus Christ in ignorance. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. We're prophesying to you so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. World War III is coming to America, Babylon the Great, and throughout the whole earth. The RFID chip, martial law, FEMA camps, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. We'll give you the 100% truth according to our elders, the great millstone. Hebrew Israelite camp. We give you the Most High God's name, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, and the prophecies that will be revealed after 2,000 years, according to the Holy Bible. This is 1 Kings chapter 4, verse 26. And Solomon had 40,000 stalls, horses for his chariots, 12,000 horsemen, which King Solomon went off because the Lord said to have knowledge of these other particular ways and manners of the other nations, but not to follow after their ways, not to multiply horses to yourself, like it says in the law. You're supposed to have a copy of the law in order to be able to read it and understand it. First Kings chapter 4, verse 30. And Solomon's wisdom excelled the wisdom of all the children of the east country, and all the wisdom of Egypt. Why? Because, like it says in the book of Ecclesiastes, he sought out folly. So he went into other occult wisdom, which he wasn't supposed to, because he was punished later on for that. 1 Kings 4:31, where he was wiser than all men, than Ethan the Ezrahite, and Heman, and Calcol, and Dorda, the sons of Mahol. His fame was in all nations round about. And he spake 3,000 proverbs, and his songs were 8,005. And he spake of trees, from the cedar tree that is in Lebanon to the hyssop that springeth out the wall. He spake also of beasts and fowl, and of creeping things, and of fishes. And there came of all people to hear the wisdom of Solomon, from all kings of the earth, which have heard of his wisdom. And this is the wisdom of the world that Paul the Apostle mentioned, which entices many to follow after their own ways. Because it's enticing. Esau Edom's his ways, the ways of his world are enticing. Which is why Wisdom of Solomon, the book of Wisdom of Solomon says, the beginning of fornication was idolatry, which is what the so-called white man did. Turned the Lord's creation and turned it upside down in order for it to be worshipped, which is what the other nations follow after, which is what he promotes in this world. This is the book of Romans, chapter 1, verse 21. Because of that, when they knew God, they glorified him not as God, neither were thankful, became vain. Their imaginations, their foolish heart was darkened. Professing themselves to be wise, they became fools, changed the glory of the uncorruptible God to an image, made like to corruptible men, to birds, four-footed beasts, and creeping things. Which is really, Paul the Apostle is talking about the Pharisees that delivered up Yahweh Shai, HaMashiach, the author of life. Why? Because they feared that the Romans would take away their place, which is what you have with these other camps 501c3 tax exempt like your local Christian and Catholic pastor, because they're paid to lie, to not give you the whole understanding. IUIC, ISUPK, Sikori. But we're giving you the 100% truth, starting with our elders at Great Mill Stone, Hebrew Israelite Camp. We give you the name of the Most High God, His only begotten Son, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, the knowledge of the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, the coming of martial law, FEMA camps, World War III, world economic collapse, central bank digital currency, we are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. We're prophesying to so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans of the incoming destruction coming to America via thermonuclear fire. This also applies to Esau Edom, the so-called white man, because he through his excavations, through his traveling throughout the world, he knows the former customs and ways of these other nations, of the Israelites that are here in America, Babylon the Great, the children of the slaves, the Southern Kingdom, which is in the Americas, in South America, and the majority are here, which are the 10 lost tribes. Deuteronomy 28:68 says that the Southern Kingdom, which are the so-called African Americans, were brought on slave ships, sold as bond men, as bond women, fled from Roman persecution 33 AD and 70 AD, and fled to West Africa. Acts 13:1 says that the Jews were called black. So it says, Romans 1:23, that and change the glory of the uncorruptible God into an image made like to corruptible man, to birds and four-footed beasts, and creeping things. Just like the other nations, they worship animals, images. But the Most High God said, it is not so with our people. So this is what the Holy Bible is about, the latter-day prophecy, the coming of the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast, martial law, FEMA camps, world economic collapse, central bank digital currencies, the mark of the beast being the RFID chip. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. We give you the 100% truth according to the Hebrew Israelite camp, Great Mill Stone. Romans 1:24, wherefore God also gave them up to uncleanliness with the lust of their own hearts, to dishonor their own bodies between themselves, to change the truth of God into a lie, and worship the creature more than the Creator, who is blessed forever. Amen. Which is why the nations were created to be carnal. Esau Edom was created to be a carnal man. So he has to see these things for himself. He has to be able to see tangible things. But you nations do not see the judgment that is coming, because you've been blinded, you're drunk off power. And we don't give a damn. We say Tawada Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai for seeing the downfall of our enemies. This is Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 15. Or a father afflicted with untimely mourning, when he had made an image of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man, and delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. For example, Pope Alexander VI, or what is it? is the father of a man named Caesar Borgia, which is where you get the white image of Jesus Christ, which is not the image of the only begotten Son. Revelation 1:13 says that his hair was white like wool, his feet of brass, and his eyes as a fiery flame. So it says, Wisdom of Solomon 14 and 15. For your father afflicted with untimely mourning, he had made an image of his child soon taken away, now honored him as a god, which was then a dead man, delivered to those that were under him ceremonies and sacrifices. Thus in process of time, an ungodly custom grew strong, was kept as a law. Graven images were worshipped by the commandment of kings, which happened in the Holy Roman Empire. When Christianity, which Christianity is not in the Holy Bible, Christianity is paganism, Catholicism is idolatry. So that's talking about Caesar Borgia, Pope Alexander VI, using his image to depict the Black Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach. Which is why you read about the book of Zechariah, the idol shepherd, which is white Jesus, which is the image that was given, and the blasphemy that the so-called white man made on the image of the Most High God and his children. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, and verse 1. Nevertheless, thy saints had a very great light, whose voice they hearing and not seeing their shape, because they also had not suffered the same things. They counted them happy. He's talking about when the Lord created darkness and light between the Egyptians and the children of Israel. But you can compare it to today, because we see the light at the end of the tunnel. We're not seeing the fullness of the Lord's work because it's not that time yet, but we believe. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 18, verse 2. But for that they did not hurt them now, of whom they had been wrong before. They thanked them and besought them pardon, for that they had been enemies. It's talking about those in the book of Exodus, the Egyptians, that their cattle were slain with the plague. And they besought the children of Israel for the Lord not to destroy them. Wisdom of Solomon 18 and 3. Instead whereof thou gavest them a burning pillar of fire, both to be a guide of the unknown journey, and harmless sun, to entertain them honorably. That pillar of fire is a chariot, the so-called UFO. And you read about them throughout the Holy Bible. These are the chariots of deliverance that will return and deliver the remnant of the Israelites that call upon the Most High God's name, Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Those that are seeking the prophecies of the Holy Bible. Those that know not to take the RFID chip. Those that are sealed in their mind with the words of prophecy. We give double honors to our elders at Great Millstone, Hebrew Israelite camp. We're giving you the 100% truth. We got the 12 tribes sign. We know the Lord's name. We know the prophecies. And the word is going out, whether you heathens like it or not, whether Esau Edom likes it or not. Wisdom of Solomon 18:4. For they were worthy to be deprived of light and imprisoned in darkness. We had kept thy son shut up, by whom the uncorrupt light of the law was given to the world. Like it says in the book of Isaiah, gross darkness has covered the people. 2/3 of the so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native Americans, which will be coerced into taking the RFID chip. The other nations, Esau Edom, worshiping the creation more than the Creator. Why? Because it's supposed to be that way. Which is why it says, by whom the uncorrupt light of the law was given unto the world. And that's a cut, because that's talking about the nation of Israel. Wisdom of Solomon 18:5. When they had determined to slay the babes of the saints, one child being cast forth and saved to reprove them, thou tookest away the multitude of their children, and destroyest them altogether in a mighty water. Which is what they did during the time of chattel slavery. Esau Edom, pillaging the women, cutting them open, doing the experimental surgery. Goddamn crackers, gotta pay for that. You gotta pay for the bloodshed that you shed of the indigenous people of this land, the Native Americans, the African Americans, the Northern Kingdom, the Spaniards, slain countless of our people to pillage gold and silver from our various countries. That's happening today as well, because Esau Edom's system, so-called white man, he wants you to abort your children. He wants you to choose death and not life. He wants you to be ignorant of the things that are happening around you. He wants you to not know what GMOs are. He doesn't want you to know about central bank digital currencies. He doesn't want you to know what's going on in the world. He doesn't want you to know that Russia, China, Iran, they're coming up with their own currency. They're going to leave the dollar. They don't want you to know you're an Israelite. They don't want you to know about parallel farming, fungus burgers. Now they can sell you artificial chicken, 3D printed meat, which when you put vinegar on it, it's going to get stringy and nasty. So it says, one child being cast forth and saved to reprove them. So this is talking about Moses. And what did he do? He was sent by the Lord as a messenger to reprove the people, to give them admonition, to give a warning. Which our warning is what? The RFID chip is coming. Martial law is coming. FEMA camps. World economic collapse. Shipping stations will be set up throughout America, Babylon the Great. Through the spirit of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, we're giving our people the righteous warning, righteous admonition. Not like these other camps that are turning the word of the Lord to a goddamn circus. We're keeping it simple. The RFID chip is the mark of the beast. Circumcision is in the inward man. We're not out here to tell you to dress like you're a goddamn Ibabi, or to dress like a super Hebrew Israelite, because a Jew is one inwardly. You're supposed to be sealed with the knowledge of prophecy and call upon the Most High God's name in the time of Jacob's trouble. So it says, and one child being cast forth and saved to reprove them. Thou tookest away the multitude of their children, destroys them altogether in a mighty water, which is what's coming to America, Babylon the Great. The majority of our people being destroyed by the lack of knowledge, by lack of understanding. They have no guide. They have no truth in them. This is Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 13, verse 13. And taken the very refuse among those which serve no use, being a crooked piece of wood, full of knots, have carved it diligently, when he had nothing else to do, and formed it by the skill of his understanding, and fashioned it to the image of a man, or made it like some vile beast, laying it over with vermilion, and with paint coloring it red, and covering every spot therein. Again, that's in the book of Zechariah, the idle shepherd, the arm being dried up, the left eye growing dark, because that's what's going to happen to a worthless shepherd. You can't put an image around an actual flock and expect it to tend for the flock. That is the worthless shepherd raised up in the land, that was raised up after the desolation of Jerusalem, and is now called Christianity, Catholicism, which is vanity, lies, deception, which is why the book of Isaiah says that our people are snared in holes, which is the jails, the churches, Christianity, Catholicism. These are people robbed and spoiled because they have no understanding. It says 1 Timothy chapter 4 and verse 1. So this is what's coming to America, Babylon the Great. Martial law, FEMA camps, world economic collapse, central bank digital currencies, the RFID chip is the mark of the beast. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of. We're prophesying to so-called black, Hispanic, and Native Americans. We're giving you the 100% truth according to our elders and apostles of Great Millstone. IUIC, ISUPK, Sakari. They're not giving you the whole understanding according to the Holy Bible. They're not giving you 100% truth. They're not expounding on the words of prophecy. They're not showing you the sign of the time.